Hi everyone, welcome to my 50th live stream. Today is December 16th, so how's everyone doing tonight? Let's see, first off, I want to thank you all guys for coming tonight. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all are having a great week. So, yeah, let's see who's here. So I know Dan's here, and I remember watching his video earlier today, and so this stream, I'm not really sure what we're going to talk about for the most part of this stream. I thought about maybe bringing the episode live streams back. So by that, what I would do is you guys would suggest a great episode in The Walking Dead, and then I would rewatch it, and then we can discuss that episode throughout the stream, like I did. Yeah, it's been a couple months, I think. So I think after this live stream, we're going to start doing that again. Pick it back up. And yeah, so about the other two Walking Dead spinoffs, Dan, I think they're gonna be. Gimple is probably gonna see if they're gonna work like Tales of the Walking Dead. So I think we're gonna get a 1 or 2 season Governor story or backstory series, and one with possibly Abraham, because they said it's a comedy series, and it would kind of make sense to use Abraham since he was a fan favorite character. So if they decided to use somebody else as a fan favorite, like an actor or a character we don't know, then there might not be an audience for it. But if they use Michael Cudlett's Abraham, then there's a chance that a bunch of people will, watch the show. So that's kind of what they want. They probably want, viewers to come in. So, yeah. And, all right, let's see. Let's scroll more towards the bottom. Yeah, Gimple is just, oh yeah, so the 2030, I don't know if The Walking Dead can last that long. I feel like The Walking Dead might be, okay, so like Star Wars is still going on strong, but as far as, I can't see them doing 4 Walking Dead shows in the next 10 years, like continuously. I feel like The Walking Dead might need to take a break or something after the main show, Fear and World Beyond End, and then eventually it's going to pick up again. So yeah, and by the way, how are you guys doing today? And this week, I hope you guys are having a great time. Let's see. Yeah. Hey DeRosa, glad you can make it. Dan said I'm done school till January now, so I'm happy. That's awesome, Dan. Yeah, I'm still not doing school. I mean, I was gonna go back to school, but I kind of missed the registration. Or I mean, I didn't miss the registration. I missed the class registrations. I couldn't, all the classes were filled. So maybe next semester. Hey Matt, glad you can make it. Thank you for coming. Hello Cooper Ridley. He says, yes, I love this strong, powerful, independent, hot, amazingly dazzling woman on the thumbnail. Yeah. I'm glad Cooper. Yeah, I'm kind of doing like an Alicia series on my channel, like at least for like this month of December. 2020 is almost over, so I'm kind of like, I've been doing a lot of Alicia like thumbnail streams, and like there was that Alicia video. Oh yeah, Cooper, if you didn't see, I did an Alicia tribute video, a music video. If you didn't see it, it's literally the video before this one on my channel. So, and it uploaded just a week ago. I uploaded it. So if you want to check it out, it's in my channel. Dan says, I mean, agreed, lol. Yeah, Matt, I know you're not much of an Alicia fan. Cooper says she kind of looks like an alien in that pic, though. Could have done better, Bri, but oh well. Well, I mean, I kind of needed to, yeah, I'll admit, the eye thing is a little bit off. Like, one eye is more open than the other, but I wanted to get a picture I didn't use before with Alicia. And you got to understand, Cooper, there's not a whole lot of pictures of Alicia in season 6. Like, Alicia has only really been in 2 episodes this first half, and I already used like a good chunk of them already. So, yeah, there's that. So, let's see. DeRosa says, Brian, when he thinks of Alicia. Yeah, that's funny. Yes, if you guys can't tell, I am a simp for Alicia. Yes, I am. Dan says, me when I think of Alicia. Yeah, That's funny. Oh, Cooper says, can I call us the Alicia Sims? Uh, I mean, absolutely, Cooper. You can call us that. I don't care. I'm not ashamed of it. So, yeah, guys, just let me know what you guys want to talk about as the main topic for the stream, because there's a lot to talk about. So, like, first off, okay, so we're gonna get more Walking Dead series. Okay, so besides World Beyond and Fear, we're getting two more Walking Dead series according to Scott Gimple, and one of them is going to be a backstory on one of the villains of the series. And first off, because it's going to be a backstory series, we obviously know it's not going to last long. It's going to be like World Beyond, only lasts a few seasons. Let's see. DeRosa says, "Oh, he admitted he's a simp for Alicia." Yes, I am. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. There's nothing wrong with being a simp, DeRosa. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's see. Dan says, honestly, I think Fear Season 6 is the best. Oh, sorry, is the part of the show. Who agrees? Yeah, I think Fear Season 6 is the part of the show. Yeah, I think he meant to say best, Dan, but yeah. Fear Season 6 is good, but we definitely need more characters. Strands hasn't been the best this first half, and Alicia has been underused. Daniel has been extremely underused as a character. Okay, hold on, let's see. Matt says, "Don't call me that, Cooper, LOL." And he says, Morgan or Alicia. Do you mean which character I prefer more? I prefer Alicia, definitely, over Morgan. Don't get me wrong. Morgan he is a great character, but Alicia is way better. Dan says, "I'm glad we might get to see the governor again." Me too. David Morrissey's governor is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, Samantha Morton's Alpha, for the most part, really good, but she does come off a little bit weird sometimes. Certain moments, certain things they have her do. I guess the way she talks as well. And they showed too much of Alpha's backstory already, like a lot. So I feel like we really don't need any more. As far as Negan, we definitely need some Negan, but there's not much they can do with that. And since Negan is still on the show and he's not dead, I feel like it's probably not going to be him. So I feel like the governor is probably the best option. But wait a minute, they would have to get Merle, Michael Rooker, to come back. So there's that issue. I didn't even think about that, guys. How do you think they're going to get Merle back? Because Michael Rooker, didn't he say he was done with The Walking Dead? I could have sworn he said that. Let's see. Dan says Alicia, Daniel. Oh yeah, he's still around. LOL. Yeah, he's been underused. Hopefully they use him more in the second half of the season. DeRosa says, if Alicia did a live stream, we all know Dan and Brian putting in a $200 donation. Yes, definitely. I mean, I have a job. It's not a great job, but I do make some money. And yes, if I can get Alicia to read my comment or question, oh boy, yeah, I'm gonna dig deep in my wallet. Okay, so yes, Cooper, yes, we love Alicia. Dan says Morgan has stepped it up this season. True. I wish it didn't take this long. Like, I wish they didn't ruin him in the Walking Dead main show and then Fear season 4 and 5. I wish they didn't do that. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, Cooper. Oh my gosh, no one believes that about Virginia. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. No. Definitely not, Cooper. DeRosa says the governor is the OG Walking Dead villain. He is. He is the best villain that The Walking Dead has ever had. And yeah, I said it, Negan fans. Okay, I said it. But let's be honest, Negan, besides the season 7 premiere, Negan was not that much of a villain. Let's be honest, guys. Matt says Negan, best main show character, IMO. I don't think. Okay, so as far as leading his own show, that can't really work. There's a few problems with that, Matt. So he's still in the Walking Dead main show, so they might need to kill him off in the main show, or they need to have him leave the main show forever. But I don't know. I don't know if Jeffrey D. Morgan what could they do with a Negan backstory series, I suppose? And sure, you might have some people who watch it, but I think, I honestly, I feel like the governor has more of that. I feel like the governor might bring more people in just because it's been so long. I mean, let's be honest. If I was Scott Gimple and David Morrissey and Jeffrey Dean Morgan each came to me and said, I want to have my own backstory show, I would choose David Morrissey. I would choose him because I just feel like, one, not only is he a better villain, but also, well, first off, the governor is more intimidating, let's be honest. But also, Negan, I don't know, showing Negan being built up as a villain with the whole redemption arc thing that they've been going, I don't really know if it'll work. But then again, if they did a governor story, where would they end it? Because he would still be a villain. You know what? They might end it where he puts like the first head in the water tanks, like in his room or something. That they might have that be the end of the first season or something. Let's see. Dan says, I love Alpha, but she's gotten her backstory and Negan is getting his soon, so it's the governor's turn. It definitely is. Absolutely. We need to know with the governor's backstory how that went. Matt says, I'd say Shane is the OG Walking Dead villain. I don't know about villain, Matt, but yeah, Shane did mess up a lot. He definitely murdered a couple times here and there, but as far as villain, I don't really know. I feel like that really just goes to the governor. Cooper says to DeRosa, it's actually Shane. Let's see, you say Shane wasn't really a villain. Yeah, I agree. Shane was kind of like a reverse Rick, not really too much of a villain. Kind of like, because a lot of people agreed with what he did, what he said. So yeah, Cooper says Shane's actually been confirmed to be a villain. Yeah, that's true, Cooper. But didn't they confirm that Randall was a villain too? So they kind of use that villain card too often in The Walking Dead. Like okay, first off, if you're talking about the wiki, do not trust the wiki. The wiki is it's controlled by fans who do not know what they're doing. I mean, let's be honest. So if the wiki says Shane's a villain, that does not mean he's a villain, because they give that to pretty much any character in The Walking Dead. Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's too common. Dan says season 7 Morgan, and you give a like roll your eye emoji. Yeah. Matt says it was confirmed by the showrunners. Oh, okay. DeRosa says Shane just didn't like Rick. I think he liked Rick. He just didn't like the choices he was making. Matt says season 7 Morgan was good in my opinion. Nope. Sorry, Matt. Have to disagree heavily on that one. Dan says Negan in season 8 was kind of frustrating. LOL. He really was like frustrating. Not really a villain. And I was just thinking, I'm like, okay, Negan, you said we're going to war. What did you do in the war? You got stuck in the factory with Father Gabriel, and then you wanted to, and then you almost got killed by Rick in a car accident and with walkers, and then you led the Saviors on a hill, and then you got captured. I mean, like, how bad was that? I mean, yes, Negan attacked Alexandria, kind of, but he didn't even throw anything over the wall. He didn't even shoot any of the explosives. So, yeah, Comic Negan he was more of a villain. Matt says Shane also tried to kill Dale. I think he was threatening him, but I don't know. As far as trying to kill Dale, I don't really remember that, Matt. You might need to refresh my memory. Cooper says, IMO though, even though I'm a Alicia simp, Morgan is 100% fear now. Yeah, we know. Morgan took over the show. He kind of hijacked it back in season 4, so it works, but still. DeRosa says season 8 gets worse the more you watch it. Oh, that's funny, DeRosa. Do you guys remember? Okay, do you guys remember the scene where Rick and Daryl are chasing those saviors that are shooting the 50 caliber, gun? How in the world? Please answer this to me. And I don't know if in Dan's rewrite on Sunday, I don't know if I know he's not going to do the same mistake, but how in the world does a 50 caliber gun shoot Rick's truck and it's barely damaged? That is not how that works. I'm not saying Rick needed to get shot because he would have lost an arm or something. I'm saying, how in the world did that happen? Like, the glass had a bullet hole in it. That's not what would happen. You know what I mean? Just and the car just is smoking a little. That's not what would happen if it was shot with a 50 cal. It's not. I mean, look it up. A 50 cal is way more damaging. This should have been a big thing. And Rick and Daryl just took out the Saviors like that simple. Rick literally jumped into the Jeep like it was a Fast and Furious movie. I mean, this is not Fast and Furious. Hold on, guys. I'm getting this stupid driver's update thing on my computer. Okay. Yeah, I want to make, man, I want to make some like meme videos of The Walking Dead where you have like a scene from The Walking Dead that makes characters roll their eyes, and then like I take a video of someone like laughing hysterically. I don't know. I thought about doing that. Let's see. Dan says I'm good with just 1022 for Negan's backstory, but that's good in my opinion. It is. I feel like we've gotten so much Negan in the show, and showing him how he's built up to a villain. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't get it. Matt says I like season 8. Yeah, Matt, why don't you tell us what you liked about season 8? Like, I'm really curious. Like, what did you like most about it? Let's see. Dan says season 8B was all right, but season 8A, throw up. Sick emoji. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Season 8A, listen, I'll admit, season 8 was, the first half was not as bad as the first half of season 7, but still, like, so many episodes were in season 8 were so bad because you had the whole Carl and Sadiq thing. You had the revelation that Carl was bid. You had Negan not being used as a villain. You had Rick making really stupid decisions with the junkyard people. You had just terrible gunfights. Like, you know, Tara is just shooting an assault rifle with her fingers, not with her body. I mean, come on. That's not how you shoot a gun in real life. Like, it's bad. Okay, Cooper says season 8 is better than 9. Don't at me. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Cooper, but I'm sorry, I disagree. But tell me why you think season 8 is better than 9. Please tell me. And you just say Simon. Yeah, Simon was he was a cool character, but man, did they overuse him? I mean, they totally used him more than Negan in season 8. Let's see. The rest says season 8A was absolutely trash. Yeah, I'm glad that Dan is rewriting season 8 into, you know, season 7, because yeah, I mean, that was how Dan is writing it is just, it's a lot more interesting. And it's only been like, well, I mean, it's only been 2 episodes of season 8 that he's used so far. Dan says I disagree. Season 9 brought the show back for me. Simon was awesome, though. I'll say that he was. Cooper says 9A masterpiece. 9B was complete garbage. I definitely think 9B was slower. I definitely think so. The Whisperer stuff was good, but I don't know. Yeah, they could have added more with that. Dan says 9B was good because the Whisperers made it super entertaining for me. Yeah, they did, Dan. I would say, though, that the first half, I think that the first half of season 9 was better, though. I would say that because the characters, and we had Maggie and Rick. I mean, yeah, how could it not be really good? Let's see. Dan says 9B was. Oh, I already read that. DeRosa says, why not make Jenner a villain? I guess at this point, yeah. See, like that's how they use it. They use it so often in The Walking Dead, it gets annoying with the whole. Oh, this character is a villain, or this character is a villain. Like that woman Claire that. In the season 4 premiere, like, is she a villain? Like, it gets used so often. Dan says, at this point, honestly, yeah, we are the end of the world. Sleeping. Yeah, we are the end of the world was terrible. It is one of the worst Walking Dead episodes ever. Let's see. Cooper says, anyone else feel like you're being jumped for opinions in the stream? Cooper, no one's jumping you. Your opinion, as long as you're not attacking somebody or trolling, your opinion is respected here. It's respected. Like, I mean, everyone's just voicing their opinion. They might say like, well, they thought season 8 was trash, and partially I agree with them. It definitely was not as good as it could have been. But yeah, Cooper, your opinion matters. We're not targeting you. We're not jumping you. Nothing like that. Just want to make that clear. You know. Matt says, Morgan versus Alicia fight. Who wins? Oh, Matt, that's not fair. That is not fair. Because like, okay, like Morgan and Alicia, I don't. I mean, what are they fighting about? Why would they be attacking each other? You know, I mean, just a couple things that don't really make a whole lot of sense. But like, this is tough. So if it was season 4, I think Alicia would have killed him. But this is season 6 now, so okay, Morgan is stronger than Alicia physically. You know, I'm not gonna deny it. But as far as which character can, is probably more adaptable, I feel like Alicia. I feel like she wins in terms of fighting because at least in certain areas, because like Alicia has a lot of ingenuity when she's fighting. She's very resourceful. She uses the environment to her advantage, but Morgan doesn't do that. So yeah, I'm just saying, in terms of strength, Morgan wins, but depending on the situation, Alicia could win. Dan says, "Don't worry, in my rewrites this Sunday, that scene is fixed. It needs to be. LOL." Yeah, definitely. Therosa says, "Brian, how does the car survive?" I have your answer. Plot. Yeah, that is absolutely true, DeRosa. I mean, like, the car has plot armor. I mean, even the vehicle has plot armor. Like, that's how bad season 8 was. I'm not saying that you can't have like characters in danger, but when you have it where, why did it have to be a 50 caliber? That's what I don't get. In the comic book series, it wasn't that. It was just saviors got the jump on, them on Ezekiel's people. That was it. Like, and then they decided to do it, make it a 50 cal. I don't understand that, and not just that, but like just Rick and Daryl, and they're like superheroes jumping in the cars, like, and then the truck is invincible. I mean, just what? Like, that didn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's see. Cooper says Morgan. Let's see. Darrell says plot armor. Dan says exactly. Matt says, "I like the story, Simon, the action, and the music." I mean, the story, it's from the comic, so it's not that hard to adapt it. Simon, yes, but here's the thing. They used Simon way too much in season 8. Like, he was the true villain in All Out War when it was supposed to be Negan, so that's also kind of a problem. The action, yes, there was action, but it was very poorly done. And the music, I think the music was good. Yeah, I think the music was good. Now, the trailer for season 8, the music, that was terrible. Like, can we honestly talk about the season 8 trailer, guys? Do you guys remember watching that trailer? That music was terrible. I think it's the worst music they ever had for the Walking Dead Comic-Con trailer. I mean, what was that music? It was like cowbell or something. Like, what? Okay, Dan says the junkyard people belong in World Beyond. Oh my gosh, yeah, exactly, Dan. Can you imagine if they were in World Beyond? Oh my goodness. Like Iris, like the characters, like Iris could be a part of them, you know what I mean? The other characters, I don't think so, but I mean, yeah, Iris could definitely be a part of the garbage people. DeRosa says, not gonna lie, season 7 was very boring at times, but Negan was actually really feared in season 7, and that finale was fire. I had some problems with the finale, but I will say that Negan was definitely more of a villain in season 7 than he was in season 8, so there is that. Let's see, Matt says, also my opinion, people didn't care about Carl until he died. That is true, Matt. They didn't want him to die, though. With Carl, yes, I would say people did not love him. They didn't find him interesting or relatable, but they didn't want him to flat out die. You know what I mean? Like, that was the last thing they wanted. You know what I mean? And you say season 7 finale was amazing. Let's see. Dan says season 7 was boring, but 706 was awful. Yeah, it was awful. You know what, guys? Do you guys next live stream for my next week? For my 51 live stream, do you guys want me to? We can rewatch the season 7 finale, or maybe an episode of season 8, if you guys suggest it, and I will rewatch that episode, and we will do a live stream discussing that entire episode. What do you guys think? Like, I suppose what I'm trying to say. So, what episode? Here's the thing: it cannot be an absolutely terrible episode. it cannot be swear. Like it can't be something that bad. Like it's got to be a pretty good episode and one that we haven't really talked about. You know what I mean? Like the season 7 finale. Let me know if you guys want to do that next live stream. The Russ says, I lost brain cells watching season 8. Yeah, while I was watching, season 8, I was just constantly looking at my phone. I'm like, what else is going on right now? Because, it just wasn't interesting. This was the best arc in the comics, and they made it in the show. There was no tension because, like, Rick and his group, they're fighting hundreds to almost 1,000 saviors, and they're just shooting bullets. We never see them reload. Like, we get a few minor characters that are getting killed off, and that's it. That's the war. And it's like, it doesn't feel real. Now, a few moments I liked, like Rick versus Gracie's father, that was good. They should have had more moments like that, but they didn't. Characters were just, they were just invincible, killing saviors every 5 seconds like they were flies. And I don't know, it just felt weird. It didn't feel like a war. The saviors were just, they just felt like cannon fodder. You know what I mean? Like they didn't feel like actual people at times. So like, yeah. Dan says, hope you guys enjoyed 7-10. It was a great war episode for the season. It definitely was, Dan. I'm glad you kept the part where Morgan kills like a bunch of saviors in the factory. And I'm very curious to see what you have, because it looks like you might have taken out Gracie, at least in that part of the episode. And the way you have it, I can't wait to see. I'm guessing Shiva is going to die next episode, but I mean, yeah, I can't wait to see what happens, because honestly, your rewrites are what I have a lot to look forward to. Pretty much. I mean, that's it. The year's almost over. There's no more Walking Dead. The Rust says, who wrote season 8? I believe Scott Gimple did. I believe he did, but I could be wrong. Dan says, the big scary you had a terrible filler. The only thing it did was show why Negan's the leader, but it's not that necessary. LOL. Okay, first off, the big scary you. That is a weird title. But I know what you're talking about, Dan. So, hold on. So I need to look up the episode again. So The Walking Dead, the big scary you. Okay, so I just need to refresh my mind on the episode. So I hope you guys understand. Okay, yeah. So this is the part where Negan talks about to Father Gabriel. First off, I don't know why this have to happen in the show, because I don't know, like in the comic book series, Negan was inside killing walkers, but here they just have him talking to Father Gabriel. Okay, so like, okay, here's the thing. This episode we did get Simon giving Gregory, we give him giving Gregory the pancakes, and we get that funny line from Simon. That was funny. That was good. But as far as everything else, like I don't get it. So Negan plans on capturing Rick, Maggie, Ezekiel. Where did this come from? I thought he wanted to kill him. Like I just don't understand Negan's motive at times and how it works. We have the fight between Rick and Daryl. I mean, that was so bad. They hyped that fight so much, and it was so dumb because, like, I think Rick threw the dynamite in the truck and it exploded. I mean, what was that? All right, so let's see. DeRosa says the war could have. Hold on. The war could have been all in season 8 A. Yeah, it could have been season 7B, honestly. That's what Stan's doing. But yeah, or they could have just made it 10 episodes. I mean, honestly, and then, picked up The Walking Dead again, or I don't know, they could have done like a longer season 9 or something. I don't know, just it felt so odd to have the war be the entire season. Because it's obvious, it's easy to tell that they stretched the war too long. Because Rick was captured by Jadis and he had to spend several episodes, you know what I mean? With the junkyard people. I mean, what? Like, why? Dan says how it's gotta be. 808 was supposed to be so good based off the comics, but no. Yeah, that is true, Dan. How it's got to be. Okay, so I will admit Carl was good that episode. Chandler Riggs did a great job. But like this doesn't make any sense. So okay, so we have the part where Rick and Carl are talking in the episode, and then okay, yeah, so Rick is with the scavengers and they totally ditch him. And I mean, what was that? And then Carol and Jerry save him. I mean, I'm sorry, what was Rick thinking here? Oh, this is great. So we have Enid and Aaron who are like, yeah, let's go to Oceanside and get those women who don't have any weapons, who hate us, and let's get them to fight for us. Okay, I'm sorry. I love Aaron, but Aaron, this is a stupid plan. The women at Oceanside, they hate you guys. They will kill you on sight last time, and you took all their guns. How in the world can they fight, and why would they fight? You know what I mean? Just why? Okay, so I'm gonna read your guys' comments and then try to catch up, and then we can talk more about the big scary. No, not the big scary you. How it's got to be. Sorry. The rule says season 8 was stretched out like Otis' belt. I don't get what that means, DeRosa. Oh, okay, yeah, you're saying he's that's a fat joke? Seriously? Oh, come on, DeRosa. Otis, he was a nice guy, man. Come on, don't do that to Otis, man. Dan says the Ezekiel stuff in 804 is super trim this week because it has a lot of problems. Yes, especially the part where, okay, you don't have to tell me, Dan, but I really hope in your version that instead of the whole chemical walker things, the walkers are like bones that kill Shiva. I'm hoping in your version, Ezekiel's people become walkers, and because they're fresh zombies, they're the ones that kill Shiva, and it's more tragic. Now, you don't have to tell me it is, but I'm just saying that is what I'm hoping that happens because, I mean, I feel we definitely discussed it before, and I feel like that's a perfect way to show Ezekiel that he has failed as a king, or make him think he failed as a king, because his people have literally died on his watch, and they come back and taken his tiger that he loves so much. You know what I mean? That is just tragic right there. I mean, literally, I don't even understand why I came up with that, like, after I watched the episode. I'm like, Gimple, I don't know why Gimple thought that was a good idea, to have bony, weak walkers kill Shiva. It just did not work. Having it be Ezekiel's people, that would have been so much better. Yeah, I should discontinue. DeRosa says, how did the car survive the 50 cal? Gimple, because I wrote it that way. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Gimple writes a lot of things that way. Daryl punching Negan and getting Glenn killed. Rick and Daryl fighting. Rick trusting the garbage people 5 times after they clearly showed they're untrustworthy. I mean, just, yeah. Dan says the music in season 8 trailer. Yeah, it was so bad. What was that? It was like cowbell or something. Dan says Ari needs to go. Can't stand her like Lori. I don't get it, Dan. After 10 episodes, I still don't like Iris. I did like the part where she was suspecting Huck. I did like that part. But everything else with Iris, did you guys get that? When Hope is saying goodbye to Iris, why is Iris just have a dead face? I'm sorry, but what is it with the actress? Why can't she not show emotion? It's so bad. DeRosa says, bro, let's just move all the trash to World Beyond, like Oceanside and the Junkyard Group. Yes, that is one of the worst things that, Gimple has created the Hospital Group, the Junkyard Group, and yes, he didn't create Oceanside, but they're pretty much original to the show, the way he did them, because in the comic books, Oceanside is just a really small community that is never seen, and all they do is fish a little bit. But in the show, they have a bigger storyline, and it's all women for some reason. Don't know why. I mean, that's I don't know. It's really sexist, but whatever. And I don't know. It's odd. It's so off. I mean, I don't understand it. And they're rarely ever used. Like, Oceanside is used like once or twice a season. Like, that's it. Like, I'm sorry, that's just bad. Dan says, in Al's camera. Yes, get rid of Al's camera. DeRosa says that Terra episode. Yeah, definitely. Oh, Dan says do a throwback on 716. That would be fun. Thank you, Dan. I definitely think I will. Hopefully, maybe. We should definitely. If more people want to see it, if everyone else is okay with it, I definitely think I will do it, Dan. Absolutely, because it's definitely not the worst episode in season 7. There are some enjoyable moments, like the part where Carl just turns around and shoots like two guys. That was awesome, you know. And there was some good moments, like the characters fighting. But some other parts in the episode just did not like. So yeah, Dan, if everyone's okay with it, if everyone's up for it, I will do it. And let's see. Dan says all I wore in the comics. Yay! All I wore in the show. Angry, definitely. There also says Shiva died because budget. That, and they're kind of following the comics, but the way they did it was just not good. You know, it's pretty obvious there was a budget issue. Matt says, Yo, Brian's still down for a collab stream. Absolutely, Matt. I don't know how to do it though. Like, so I use Streamlabs and I don't know. Yeah, Matt, just talk to me about how we can possibly do this, because absolutely, Matt, one of these days, next week, sometime, I don't know when, either Monday or Wednesday, I want to do a collab. Absolutely. And, you know, so like you can talk and then I can talk and we can, yeah, just talk back and forth. Like that would be awesome. I don't know how to do that because I've never done that before. I tried to look it up, but I'm still struggling with it. Like I'm just really bad at figuring it out. Dan says, I'll just say Shiva's death is something budget-wise I can't change. I'll just say, but I promise the way it's done will be better. I'll just confirm because we all know she's too expensive to keep. Yeah, it's unfortunate, Dan. I mean, listen, if you have to get rid of the CGI tiger because, you know, to not make the season horrible, you know, because budget issues, I completely understand. I mean, it makes sense. I would have gotten rid of Shiva too, but I just would have done it in a more realistic way. DeRosa says, Scott Gimple breeds, Dan sighs. Yes, why Scott Gimple, what are you doing? Stop breathing. Start writing. Good, you know? You say, LOL, JK. Dan says, Rick going to the junkyard is so filler. It was. It did nothing for the story. It really didn't do anything for Rick's character. Just nothing. And you say, I just wish Gimple didn't mess up season 8 so the fans wouldn't be satisfied, and I'm going to try to fix what he did. Yeah, that's true. If Gimple did not do such a bad job with season 8, we wouldn't have wanted to fix it so bad. Dan says Glenn was great in 7/10 as he tried to help Aaron, but man, that's a crazy death for Eric. LOL. Yeah, I mean, I will say, in the way Gimple did Eric's death, it wasn't bad, but your version was amazing. Like, it's so cinematic. Like, just Aaron going to his boyfriend, and then boom, right in front of his face, slow motion. You even have blood go on Aaron's face, and just Eric just falls down. I mean, just wow. I mean, that's like a crazy death. Wait, I forgot. Is Francine alive? No, Francine's alive in your version, isn't she, Dan? Because in Gimple's version, she died with Eric, right? And it was like, wait a minute, Francine just died? Like, Francine has literally had 3 scenes in The Walking Dead. 3 scenes. Well, technically 4 if you include that time that Carol gave her cookies. She gave Francine acorn and beet cookies. But yeah, I mean, she's literally had 4 cameos from season 5 to 8, and it's like, and one of them was her death. I mean, come on. Matt says no one likes Iris. She's just a bad character, Matt. She is a terrible character, honestly. She could be one of the worst, honestly. In World Beyond, out of what I've seen, she is literally the worst character in World Beyond. Absolutely, no doubt. The Rose says Oceanside is like that person in the group project that doesn't do anything but write their name on the project. Yeah, definitely DeRosa. I don't know what they're doing. Why they still have Oceanside? Like, they really could have just wiped out that community or something. I don't know. It's just weird. Dan says Iris is the worst actress in Walking Dead universe. LOL. I think her name is, what's her name? It's like Aaliyah Royale or something. She's not a good actress. She's just bad. Matt says the actress for Iris is garbage. Yeah, I mean, listen, okay, maybe she's good in some roles, but this is Walking Dead. Okay, maybe she was great in Nickelodeon or the Disney Channel, wherever she's from, but this is the big leagues. This is the Walking Dead. You know that Nickelodeon stuff. It's not gonna cut it. I'm sorry. The whole dead face thing, saying goodbye to your sister. That's not gonna fly with the fans. It's just not. She has to do better. Dan says Oceanside. Oh yeah, that's still out there. Definitely, especially the part where my goodness, when Enid kills Natanya or Sydney's adopted grandmother, just like, what was that? I mean, just oh, it's so bad. I can't stand it. Um, Dan says Carl in 716 is some of the best of his character for me. Also 808. Yeah, that's true. That's literally all we get from Carl for the most part. We get some awesome moments with Carl in the season 7 finale and then the season 8 mid-season finale. Daryl Ocean who? Wait, I don't get that. I'm sorry, DeRosa. I don't really get the joke. Oh wait, yeah. You're just saying like they don't know Oceanside that well. That Daryl is just like, wait, who are they again? Okay, sorry. Yeah, I got it. I'm just like was wondering if he ever said that. Yeah, he should say that. DeRosa says, "What if I told the greatest Walking Dead villain actually isn't in the show?" Wait, what if I told you? Are you trying to say you that the greatest Walking Dead villain actually is in the show? Yeah, I think I know who it is, DeRosa. You're gonna say Gimple, right? Let's see. Dan says Rick goes to the junkyard group in 805. Then they leave him in 808. Rick, you were useless for 4 episodes. Yeah, literally. I mean, what? 4 episodes? That's a quarter of a season. I mean, just why? DeRosa says Fran who? Yeah, Francine. Talk about a very minor character. DeRosa says, LOL, these characters need to step their game. LOL, I don't know. Yeah, they do. Absolutely. First off, Scott Gimple, when he introduced Alexandria, he didn't introduce enough interesting and relatable characters. He just didn't. He had Jesse and her family. He had Deanna and her family. That was fine. Aaron and Eric, that was good. And Olivia, she was fine. But you had Nicholas, terrible character. Mikey only appeared in like 2 episodes. You had, oh my gosh, you had characters like Carter. I mean, just you had Heath, who showed up for 1 season and disappeared, and you have everyone's favorite slash hated character, Scott. I mean, just oh my gosh. Okay, we're not gonna turn this into a Scott stream. We're just not. I'm. That's the only time I'm gonna mention him. It's over. Let's move on. Let's see. Dan says, yes, she's alive. Her death was horrible in Gibble's version. I got plans for her. Maybe, who knows? LOL. Yeah, I'm impressed, Dan. I'm glad you were able to remember her because, like, her death was so minor in the show, and because she was such a minor character that, like, I wouldn't have blamed you if you forgot to put her in the rewrite. You know what I mean? Like, she just disappears. And then maybe I say, hey, Dan, where's Francine? And you're like, oh, I completely forgot to put her in the rewrites, you know? I wouldn't blame you, Dan, because like that's exactly what Scott Gimple did to Mikey. And you say, I love 813, but it has some frustrating moments, but that's sad because it's actually a decent episode for once in season 8. LOL. Let's see, 813. Which episode is that again? I am going to go to it right now. 16, 15, 14, 13. Do not send us astray. Oh, yeah, so this is when they attack the hilltop. Yeah, Dan, this is a pretty good episode, but it has some problems. I cannot wait to see how you rewrite this because this had a lot of problems with it. Because, first off, the whole Morgan seeing Gavin as a ghost and saying, you know what it is. No, what is it? Is it black and yellow or something? Like, I don't understand what they're trying to say. I was literally hitting my head against the table or whatever, against the wall, anything. Because I'm like, I don't get it. What is it? Um, we have Daryl shooting at Uzi on his bike. We have Simon leading the charge against the hilltop, and then walking in pitch black, getting shot. I mean, just what? Oh boy. I mean, come on. And the way they did Tara's injury, the fact that Tara's the one that got shot, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna be okay," just like that. I mean, in the comics, it was a big thing. It was Rick. He got shot with what they thought was an infected arrow, but no, it was Tara, and she's fine in the very next scene. I mean, in the comics, Rick was literally like, for like two issues, we didn't know if he was gonna live or die. You know what I mean? And they showed Tara in the next scene. She lives. I mean, just what? Dan says, but why didn't the people wake up? Yeah, that's a great question, Dan. Like, the way, okay, so the way this would work, actually, actually, you already wrote the episode. So, one of the ways that it can work, first off, is the people woke, the walker, just don't have the walker fall down the stairs. A person dies, they become a walker, and then they start eating somebody in the hallway, so they don't really make much noise instead of fall down. You know what I mean? Just something like that. DeRosa says, bro, sometimes I look at Walking Dead characters and I'm like, how the heck are you still alive? Yeah, me too. I mean, we lose great characters like Carl, Glenn, Abraham, Sasha, but we get to keep like those minor characters that got maybe one line, and like you might have seen that one time. I mean, just what? Or like, like Carter and them, just like, why are you guys alive? Like, how did you survive this long? Dan says Carl in the comics is way better. Sorry, Chandler. Yeah, Chandler did a great job as Carl for season 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6, he was starting to slip a little bit. 7, he was really starting to slip. It was like, Carl, you got to do better, man. You got to do better. And then season 8, it was like, okay. And then it's like, oh wait, he got bit? What? Like that's how it was. I still think Chandler Riggs, he was the perfect actor for Carl. I just think that 1, the writing was bad, and 2, they should have told him that, like, hey Chandler, there's been talk about killing off your character. You got to step it up, man. We don't want to kill off your character, Dan says Alexandria characters, mainly DeRosa. Yeah, absolutely, Dan. How they survive so long? I mean, just how in the world? Dan says, Daryl, take a shower and change your look. Absolutely, Dan. Daryl needs a haircut and a change of clothes. And a shower. Mostly a shower. Give Daryl Rick's murder jacket and give him a haircut. I mean, man, would people go crazy? We would get a new Daryl action figure. He would just look so different. I mean, just give Daryl a short haircut like how he had in season 2. Just give us something. DeRosa says, how did Alexandria survive for so long? Their characters are retarded before the group came around. Yeah, they were. I mean, oh boy. Like, you had that guy shoot Scott in the leg. I mean, you had Carter, who couldn't push one zombie off of him. Ah, man, just what in the world? Oh, these characters. Dan says, Heath, I don't have time for this. Rip in my rewrites. Yeah. Honestly, Dan, Heath is dead in your rewrites and in the show for me, honestly. I'm just saying it right now. I think Jadis put Heath as, she probably pushed got Heath bit by a walker, as, because he's an A, got him taken by the helicopter, and when we see Heath again in the movies or World Beyond, he's going to be a walker. Like, I don't care. He's dead. He's dead. It's over. I didn't care for his character, not one bit. Dan says, you know what it is? No, I don't. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, I just know, Dan, that you don't have that in your rewrites. I mean, why would you? It was terrible. Let's see. And you say a terror gang shot was pathetic. They filmed it from 50 feet away. Like, come on, show us like in the comics. Yeah, have it be like tension and stuff. Show, maybe they think it's Maggie or something, and they just shoot her, and they're like, Tara's been shot. Like, they're screaming, they're yelling. But no, in the show, she's just shot, and they take her, and then next scene, she's fine. Dan says it's way too dark to begin with. Yeah, in the comics it was daytime, or it was like sunset when the Saviors attacked. But in the show, it was like pitch black, and the Saviors are just like, all right, let's go to the house. And they just step away from the cover and just boom, they get shot. And even though Simon and Dwight are in the front row, they don't get shot somehow. I mean, just what? Let's see. Daryl says, not gonna lie, Dan's rewrites are interesting. They are fantastic. They are more than interesting. They're astounding. They're amazing. And all he does is just change some scenes here and there. Sometimes he completely redoes certain scenes, switches certain characters, and it's so much better. Dan says, thanks. Can't wait to release what's coming to this in the summer. Let's see. Dan says, got another rewrite on the way next year. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be something with fear. I feel like it might be a fear. And I'm sorry, Dan. I can't believe it's so funny. Everyone is like, Dan, will you do a rewrite of World Beyond, of Fear Season 4, or of The Walking Dead Season 9? Like, you know what I mean? Are you going to continue on? And it's like, oh boy, guys, let's give Dan a break, you know? DeRosa says, I want to see Daryl with a ponytail. Oh, no, DeRosa, definitely not. Scott with a ponytail. I don't know. I don't think Scott can have a ponytail. I'm sorry, but like, I don't think I don't think his hair works like that. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, he would have like, cornrows or something, like dreadlocks or something. If he grew his hair out like Ezekiel, I feel like that's his hairstyle. If it was long, or no, he would have an afro, or I don't know, just a ponytail. I just don't see it. Dan says, Daryl with the murder jacket for the promotional pictures for the final season. It would be awesome. Yes. Man, how awesome would it be just to send messages to AMC, be like, AMC, give Daryl the murder jacket and a haircut, shower, just looks completely different. I mean, Daryl has like tons of scars on his face, but we don't see them because his hair is so long. I'm sorry, just give him a haircut. DeRosa says, do you think Rick misses Scott? I don't think he remembers Scott, DeRosa. I don't think he even remembers him. And you say when Rick gets back, he's going to be like, who are you, Scott? It's me, Rick. I've been around since the beginning. Rick, sorry, I don't know you. Yeah, that's true. It's crazy. Like, Michonne has known Scott longer than Rick. You know what I mean? Like Scott's been with Alexandria longer than Rick. It's just crazy. Dan says Heath could be actually dead in the real show too. I might be able to say when we see that movie that I killed him off first. Yeah, that is true, Dan. I don't know if they even are planning that Heath is dead, but it makes the most sense. Jade has probably had him get bit by a walker. He got taken away, and he's a walker in a cage. I really think that. And honestly, I can't care one bit. Heath was just not a good character. The Rose says we'll tape a ponytail to the back of his head. Oh boy, Scott with a ponytail would look so ridiculous. Dan says, yeah, these rewrites takes time, but I do it for you guys. You guys are amazing, and that's what makes me do it. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, that is awesome. But yeah, we don't want to push you too hard though with the rewrites, because they take a while. I mean, let's see. Dan says, Daryl, cut your hair, please, and emoji with scissors. Yeah, it would be awesome. Daryl says, AMC, I don't think that will make us more money. I'm sorry, DeRosa. If AMC does not think that Daryl getting a haircut and the murder jacket, shower, if Daryl looks completely different, if they don't advertise, if they don't show how Daryl looks in that look, and it doesn't say, if it says The Walking Dead final season, I guarantee people are going to be like crazy. They're going to be like, whoa, look at Daryl, new look, everything. Because look what happened with Rick and Maggie and Michonne. Everyone was like, back in season 9, the promotional image. Everyone was like, wow, guys, look at the new, poster for season 9. The Rosa says Scott's best scene was with Aaron. Which scene? The Rosa, I'm sorry, I'm kind of drawing a blank. Okay, so what did I like about this? Okay, you know what we should have had? We should have had a scene. Guys, what do you think about this? And do not send us astray. When the people become walkers and they start eating the people in the rooms in the Barrington house, we should have had a scene where we hear a baby crying And then we have Rick turn around and he sees a walker going into a room. And in that room is Judith and Gracie. How crazy would that have been? And then you could have it where we have Rick trying to get to where the babies are, but he can't. Something's blocking him or he can't get through. And then you have a character that people, or I don't know, you have a character that people are not super interested in, but could still work. Distract the walker or get it away in time for Rick to get through and save the babies. Just something like that. You could have had this scene where they're kind of like how they did in season 10. Remember when Sadiq became a walker and was coming after Coco? That's what they should have did back in season 8. That would have been terrifying. DeRosa says, Gimple, our brand name is famous. We need like 20 more shows. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. If AMC is really like that, if they're like, Scott Gimple, we want 20 more Walking Dead shows. If I was Gimple, I would literally tell him, like, are you crazy? You don't even give me the right budget for one of the shows. I'm not going to do 20 more. Like, I'm sorry. I would lay down the law. I'd be like, listen, okay, we focus on the shows and the movies we have now. Let's see. Dan says, also, I will confirm because I'm sure it's pretty clear now. The Junkyard isn't in the rewrites because I can't with them. LOL. Yeah. Honestly, Dan, I don't blame you. If I was in your position, I couldn't fix the Junkyard people either. They are just so bad. They're terrible. I cannot make them an interesting group. They're just that bad. Absolutely. DeRosa's like, exactly which scene? The scene where Scott is behind Aaron. I'm sorry, DeRosa, can you give me like an episode or the season or what he says? Because that's not a lot to go on. Dan says, Maggie is a hard sleeper though. Wake up, the walkers are eating your people. LOL. Yeah, exactly. There should have been more tension, more chaos. Like, I'm sorry, but like first off, there were like no kids in that scene, and we didn't even get to see like where Judith and Gracie were. I don't think. That's not what I would have had happen. I would have had someone wake up in the night, they hear something, and they just see a walker munching on someone, and then we have the person scream, "Walkers in the house" or something like that, and everyone just wakes up. Everyone's panicking, screaming. They're falling over each other. It's chaos. It's complete chaos. That's what I would have done. I mean, just come on. That's what it should be. And you have characters like Rick who, yeah, they're doing they're doing really well, but the other characters are freaking out. You know what I mean? Rick's freaking out too because he sees a walker going into the room with the babies. I mean, just make it terrifying, you know? Just that's what we want to see in the show. I'm not saying they have to die. Of course not. Dan says 814 with Rick and Morgan was some of Rick's worst moments. It was, Dan, absolutely. I remember talking to Viz from The Walking Dead Now. I called him and, talked to him about how that was one of Rick's worst mistakes that he ever did in The Walking Dead. Totally murdering those saviors, not just was it a bad call, it really hurt them in the future, because if those saviors would have probably have still been alive for at least a little longer, and they would have helped against whispers and just all of that. I mean, it's just bad. When you have the villain who keeps his word, but Rick doesn't, then it's like, okay, Rick, why do we follow you again? It's just, Rick's not supposed to be the good guy, but that is not a move even an anti-hero cannot make. You can't have an anti-hero character make that kind of choice. It's still just, it's bad. DeRosa says, bro, Scott Pimple probably used the Walking Dead budget for himself. Honestly, DeRosa, I don't know. I mean, it's AMC. They're greedy too. DeRosa says, I don't know. And finding Scott is an episode is very rare. I don't know, DeRosa. I feel like Scott is in a lot of episodes. It's just he's in it for like 10 seconds in the background, and that's it. I mean, I just love it. You're like, I love the part where Scott's behind Aaron, and it's like, what episode? And you're like, I don't know. And it's like, oh yeah, because there's a lot of episodes where he's just behind somebody. DeRosa says it's like playing look for the item in the picture. Yes, it is, absolutely. He's worse than T-Dog. And you say T-Dog had more screen time. He had more lines. I mean, seriously, he had more lines. Dan says, in the meantime, Henry let the saviors out because he was too little. Like, come on, lol. Yeah, that was so bad, Dan. Absolutely. First off, no one is guarding the prisoners. Oh, and in your rewrites, there's no prisoners. That's what I love about it. There's no prisoners, so Henry cannot make that stupid choice. Like, I love that. Um, so yeah, absolutely. I cannot stand that Henry let them loose. First off, where did Henry get the key? How did he sneak out of the house without anyone noticing? Why did he unlock it? I mean, so many questions, so many plot holes. Dan says, if The Walking Dead was on HBO, it would look like a movie every week. I wish my favorite show had that treatment. Me too, Dan. The problem, though, here's the thing. If it was on HBO, we have to consider the possibility of what if The Walking Dead was ruined by, the writers of Game of Thrones, or at least similar writers? Because, yeah, that is a big possibility. Because Game of Thrones had a lot of episodes, but The Walking Dead has had way more episodes. So, they might have wanted to end The Walking Dead, or I don't know. Like, it's weird. AMC wants to keep The Walking Dead going on forever, but HBO is like, nah, let's get rid of Game of Thrones. Even though it makes more money than The Walking Dead, so I don't know. That was just weird. DeRosa says, at one point, Rosita didn't get much screen time until season filler. Oh, season 7. That's okay, DeRosa. We all know season 7 is the filler season. It's funny. You can call every season. So, like, season 1, the OG season. Season 2, the farm season. Season 3, prison. Season 4, the governor. Season 5, what would we call season 5? Like, you give it a nickname. Season 5 would just be Savage. Like, yeah, we can call it the Savage season. Season 6, the cliffhanger. No, I wouldn't say the dumpster season. Maybe the cliffhanger season, and then season 7, the filler season, and then season 8, the trash war or something like that. But yeah, honestly, like, okay, so wait a minute. Did we have No, okay, we didn't have Georgie in this episode. Georgie is not in Do Not Send Us Astray. That comes in that was the episode before. Yeah. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think, because Dan suggested it. I think I want to do a throwback live stream next week on season 7, episode 16. It is okay. I know the name of the episode. Come on. Oh yeah, the first day of the rest of your life. I am sorry, but what in the world? What kind of title is that? That is a terrible title. Season 7 had so many terrible titles. Let me just go through them real quick. The Day Will Come When You Won't Be, terrible. The Well, okay. The Cell, really, guys, you're rhyming now. Service, that's fine. Go-Getters, could be better. Swear, that's an okay title. Sing Me a Song, I don't know. Heart Still Beating, Rockin' the Road, New Best Friends. Man, yeah, it's just not really that good. And the First Day of the Rest of Your Life, that was a terrible title. Dan says season 7, Rosita was annoying for me. Of course, now she got time, and it was horrible. Yeah, Dan, I had a question. In the rewrite, Rosita said that that she was probably just going to get people killed, and Rick said, like, no, you won't. I had a question about that. What did she mean by that? Because Olivia is not dead in your rewrite, so that would have made sense in the original version of the show. But in your rewrite, that kind of confused me. So yeah, can you clarify that for me, Dan, please? DeRosa says, honestly, I can watch season 7, episodes 1 to 8, and then skip to season 8 premiere, and it would feel like you didn't miss out on anything. Yeah, that's true. Dan says also, sorry, 816 could have been better. Negan versus Rick was awful. Yeah, it was absolutely awful, Dan. In the comics, they actually fought, hand to hand. Negan broke Rick's leg, but in the show, they were just playing tag around the tree. I mean, yeah, that was pretty bad. Dan says, I like how Swear is iconic now, but not for the good, LOL. Yeah, it's iconic for the bad. There's just so much bad with that episode. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. Tara was not a bad character at that point, but doing a whole episode on her was a terrible idea. Terrible. See, like, that's how bad it was. I have to make puns now. Um, and not just that, Tara finds a community of just women, and they have plenty of guns. I mean, this is just forced writing. And it just so happens they lost all their men because of the saviors. What a coincidence. I mean, just, I don't know. It's like, come on. There was also the Oceanside women are horrible shots. They missed Tara like 5 times. DeRosa says, Scott, hey, Daryl, do you think we could... Daryl, I'm sorry, who are you? Scott, crying. Yeah, that's sad. Daryl made Scott cry. He made Maggie cry. He made Daryl made a couple characters cry. And not just because he said something. Yeah. Yeah, their eyes were probably burning. Anyway, DeRosa says, bro, I wouldn't be surprised if Scott got shot because they thought he was a stranger that sneaked in. Oh, that's funny, DeRosa. Yeah. Like, seriously, Scott is like, what kind of character is he? Give him something, please. Give him a family. Give him an arc. Give him something in the story. Because at least Jerry, it's like, everyone knows Jerry. People are like, yeah, Jerry, he's the right-hand man. He loves pie. Cobbler, he's nice and kind. He's tough. He's a good fighter. He has a family. Like, we know so much about Jerry. Scott, what do we know about him? Just nothing. Just nothing. Dan says it's because of the Abraham death and how she reacted in 708 with Negan. Oh, okay. Yeah, but it wasn't Rosita's fault that Abraham died. That wasn't her fault, Dan says we have all these guns. Like, okay, then. Yeah, it's so forced writing because it's like, what does Oceanside have plenty of? It's all women and they have plenty of guns. It's like, wow, both of those things are so forced because, I don't know, the community being all women, that's already, first off, that's sexist, okay? You don't see them introducing a community of all men. So, yeah, I'm just saying it is sexist. And having, they just have all the guns for the Junkyard people, for Rick's group, Hilltop, they have more than enough guns. That's just so convenient, All right, so DeRosa says, it's okay, Scott, you will always be the main character in our streams. No, he will not. No, he will not. Dan says, Jared isn't in my rewrites. You're welcome, guys. Yes, thank you, Dan. 1,000 thank yous. By the way, I wanted to ask, the savior that killed Benjamin in your rewrites from the kingdom, like, did Morgan eventually kill that savior? Is that savior dead? Like, are you going to address that? Or I was just curious on that because even though I hated Jared, I absolutely hated Jared, worst character ever in the Walking Dead franchise, I did enjoy his death. He is literally the only character, I think, to get eaten by walkers, and I'm like, yes, thank you. I enjoy this very much. Like, I could watch it, multiple times. Because he was that bad of a character. I mean, let's be honest, he was that bad. So, alright guys, so, I'm going to be ending the stream in about 30 more minutes. I'm around 8 o'clock, I'm going to end the stream. So so we're more than halfway done. Wait, why did it take me to Negan's page? Okay, no Negan. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, Dan, I'm wondering what you're going to do with Tobin. Let's not... Hey guys, forget about Scott. What about Tobin? You guys remember him? I mean, yeah, guys, Tobin. Like, let's see. Dan says, congratulations. Oh, Jadis, you just passed kindergarten. Wait, Dan, why'd you make that joke? I'm a little confused. Dan says, 30 minutes is perfect, man. Oh, okay. Let's see. Dan says, Negan owns half your computer now, LOL. Yes, I literally was just scrolling down on the episode, and it literally took me to Negan. Like, I'm like, what? I don't know. But yeah, Negan owns half my computer. Yeah, that's... Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, just it is not easy sharing a computer with that guy. He, I mean, yeah, he needs to clean up when he's done using my computer. Let's just say that. All right, guys. So, like I said, I don't know when my next live stream is going to be. It's either going to be Monday or Wednesday next week. I'll let you guys know. And yeah, hopefully it'll probably be in the comments of this stream after I finish. I'll say it's either Monday or Wednesday. And yeah, we're going to be talking about the first day of the rest of your life, which I can't wait to see what Dan renames that episode. If you do rename that episode, Dan, I thank you if you do, because the first day of the rest of your life. I mean, what? I mean, just I don't know. Can't they have given it something else like okay, just give me a second to think about something. Like how about Here It Begins or It Ends Here? Like just title it that. That would have been better. Dan says Negan's search history though would be would be something else. Oh yeah. Absolutely, Dan. Absolutely. All right. So okay. So there's okay. What else can we talk about? So okay. All right. So let me think about this. We have okay. So for the shows that Gimple is going to do, I think that I think that Gimple is going to do an Abraham backstory show. It might be 1 or 2 seasons. After the main show ends, that way Rosita and Eugene, the actors for them, Christian Serratos, and dang it, Eugene's actor. What was his? I know Eugene's actor. It's yeah, Josh McDermott. Yeah, why couldn't I remember that? But yeah, I think that they might be in like the new Abraham show or something. And yeah, let's see. Dan says Raph, the season 8 finale was a better title, honestly, and that's a boring title to begin with. It is, Dan, but it's better than the first day of the rest of your life. Like that just doesn't work like at all. I don't know, cause like yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't work. Um. Okay, there's got to be more to talk about this episode. Okay, so here's the thing. I did like the part where okay, and Do Not Send Us Astray. I did like the part where Maggie and the characters were shooting at the saviors, and she was giving orders. I did like that. Um, but it's like okay. What else is there? Oh yeah. So what was up with this, guys? Can you guys tell me what was up with this? So Rick just shows up out of nowhere in the hilltop, and he just starts killing the saviors, and like he's doing a perfect job. It's like okay, wait, what? Like, DeRosa says, "You're such a great character with so many layers. His growth is he truly makes the working good." So nobody ever, yes, nobody. Besides you, nobody ever said that, and I know, and thank God you were being sarcastic, DeRosa, because um, I was starting to lose it just reading that. I'm like, oh no, he's like this can't be true, you know. Yeah, just what in the world? Like Gimple was like, hey, you guys hate Negan, you guys hate Jadis and Junkyard people, you hate Oceanside, and the Saviors. I'm gonna give you. Oh, you think they're bad? I'm gonna give you the worst character ever. Like Gimple, what were you thinking? I mean, seriously, you already have tons of hated characters in season 7 and 8. Why would you add even more? Like, I don't even know. Um, oh wait, guys, okay, guys, can we talk about the saddest death this episode? It's not Tobin, okay? It's not okay, yeah, Tobin was one of the few named character deaths. But guys, do you remember Bruce and Do Not Send Us Astray? Do you remember that Bruce was the guy in the bed that he had the patched up arm, and I think he told Rick that he didn't want to become one of them, that he was infected. And literally, when people watched that scene, they were like, "Who is that guy?" Do you guys remember that? After Carol killed zombie Tobin, literally, um, we get to see Bruce, and people are like, "Wait, who is that guy?" Do you guys remember? We never got to see Bruce die. I mean, just the saddest death, man. Man, did that death? I know how you guys feel. It's breaking me too. Just yeah, exactly. DeRosa says the saviors are were actually bullies. Honestly, listen, I get they're supposed to be bullies, but when you have a character that um like is just meant to be hated, like they have no layers to them, what is the point of that character? It's bad writing. Dan says, Rick is back. Okay, could have used you 10 minutes ago. LOL. Yeah, he was busy trying. He was, yeah, Dan. He was busy uh, crashing into Negan. And, oh, wait, Rick didn't give Negan his insurance. Dang it, Rick fled the scene. He fled the scene of a car accident. Yeah, that's another Rick mistake right there. Yeah, and Rick totaled his car, so he had to run all the way back. I mean, oh boy. I guess I know it wasn't intentional, but Rick, you really were not thinking straight with that trying to kill Negan thing. Oh, Dan is crying for Bruce. Dan, I know how you feel, man. I am in tears as well for Bruce. Don't know his last name. You know, I don't know his last name. I mean, but yeah, just Bruce. Dan said, not Dan. DeRosa says, I like Jared. Brian, let me block you real quick. JK. Yeah, DeRosa, you are not blocking me. It's my stream. Yeah. And you say Bruce, Bruce who? LMAO. Yeah. Literally, Bruce, never given screen time. Maybe you know what? He was given maybe 2 scenes in all of The Walking Dead. He was given one back in season 6, and then he was given a scene in season 8 with his death. That was pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, just man, talk about. I was in tears when he died because it was just funny. It was just funny, and yeah, I just didn't care. Man. When they make Bruce in the comics better, the fact that Bruce was better in the comics, that his death was actually more sad, it just lets you know how bad the show was at adapting it. You guys remember how Bruce died in the comics, right? Just a way better death. DeRosa says, LOL, I didn't get the joke, Brian. Oh, you. Yeah, I guess I didn't get it. Dan says Rick was busy trying to kill Negan. I mean, he even supposedly crashed into him and let the budget survive. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, Rick knew that they didn't have the budget to film that car accident, so he told the writers to do it off screen. And then after he totaled his car and the Negan's car, Rick had to run all the way back to the hilltop. So yeah, definitely not Rick's smartest moment. I'm gonna say that. Yeah, not Rick's smartest moment. He kind of stranded himself, and yeah, and man, Rick was when he came back though. He went on a killing spree with the Saviors, and I was just thinking, I'm like, Rick, where was this? Rick, where was this? Rick back, in last episode when you were shooting at Negan and throwing your hatchet at him, like in that warehouse. Like, where was this Rick last episode? I don't know. Okay, guys, the stream is kind of slowing down a bit, but we still have another 20 minutes. I promise you guys a decent stream, and we are going to go the hour and 40-minute mark. Virus protection. I don't even go on any. I only go on YouTube and stuff. Dan says Rick ran back to Hilltop. I mean, this is season 8. Maybe he flew. Oh yeah. No, I mean that would be funny, Dan, but I don't think Rick took the helicopter. I think that was like a one-time thing with Rick. That's why Rick cannot come back to the main show. He can't use a helicopter again. When you get taken in a helicopter in The Walking Dead, you can only use it one time. Unless you're Elizabeth Kublet, from World Beyond, then you can use the helicopter as many times as you want. DeRosa says, Daryl, we should blow up Sanctuary with these explosives and finally win this war. Rick to Daryl, we don't have the budget for that. Yeah, they had the budget for crashing the truck into the Sanctuary, and first off, how did that even make a hole in it? I mean, yeah, it was a big truck, but wouldn't the truck block the hole itself? First off, that was such a bad move. Like, let's be honest, guys. They might not have shown it, but if they actually show that innocent people, even children, were killed because Daryl did that, let's be honest, guys. Raise of hands, who would have been done with Daryl forever if that happened? You know what I mean? I mean, let's be perfectly honest here. I mean, I'm not saying that Walking Dead characters cannot make tough calls, but if they actually show that, I think that Daryl would have lost all his fans, which is crazy. Dan says, Rick is like, why use cars? He thinks back to A12, helicopters are better. Yeah, that's true. It's crazy that the characters don't mention the helicopters more. Negan saw a helicopter. Gabriel, he didn't see the helicopter, but he did know that Jadis was on a satellite phone or something, and that she was talking to someone about a community. She mentioned that we can live somewhere else, way better than here. So Gabriel knew that there was a community that Jadis, had knowledge of that is not like where they live. So, I mean, come on, put the pieces together. Like, guys, okay, you know what? Let's be honest. The group, my goodness, can the group seriously not piece together that Rick was taken by a helicopter? I mean, first off, the helicopter would have to have landed in the grass, and there would have been tracks. There would have been like some signs of a helicopter being there. Daryl could have looked and said, like, hey, look at this. The grass is crushed. Something big was here. And then Negan could have mentioned the helicopter, and then Gabriel could have mentioned that Jadis was part of a community and that they couldn't find her anywhere. But, he could say that, hey, I found the RV that she was in. So, like, I don't get it. Dan says Daryl was so selfish in season 8. I wish Rick could have been a better fighter and punched Daryl a bit more. LOL. Yeah, Rick's not the best fighter. When he's fighting other characters, he's terrible. When he's fighting henchmen, he's pretty good. But when it's a named character, he's terrible. So, yeah, as far as Daryl, Daryl was being really selfish. I mean, it's that brash attitude. It's what got Glenn killed. And listen, Daryl hates the Saviors because they fed him dog food sandwiches. And yet, this is the same guy who eats possum, first off. Okay. And 2, they kept him in a dirty cell. Daryl doesn't bathe, okay, so that shouldn't affect him. And 3, he was forced to listen to easy street music. Guys, okay, listen, it's annoying, I'll admit it, but that is not torture, okay? That is not really the most torturous thing you could do to someone in a zombie apocalypse, okay? I'm just saying. I'm just letting you guys know that, honestly. DeRosa says, what if The Walking Dead action was like Fast and the Furious, super dramatic, unrealistic, LMAO? It kind of is sometimes, DeRosa. Do you remember in season 7 when Rick and Michonne did that whole barbed wire thing on the highway? That was kind of Fast and Furious. And then they did Rick and Daryl taking down those Saviors with the 50 caliber, jumping in the Jeep. That was Fast and Furious written all over it. I mean, just terrible. Dan says Gabriel is great in season 9 and 10. That's fed true. One of my favorites. But obviously his memory is still like his season 5 self. Yeah, definitely. DeRosa says Daryl is just being sensitive. LMAO. Yeah, I mean, okay, like seriously, Daryl was kept in a dirty cell. He doesn't bathe. That shouldn't affect him. He was forced to eat dog food sandwiches. He eats possum, okay? That shouldn't affect him either. The only thing that should have affected him was getting shot, which didn't really affect him that much because he was able to punch Negan and the easy street music. That was pretty much it. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, and Daryl he's the one who got Glenn killed. Wanting Negan dead, that's one thing, okay, but I don't know. It's just weird. Dan says, Easy Street, how about the Whisperer in 1007? Now that's torture, and you were even a part of that. Yeah, that's true. Honestly, that wasn't even that much torture. I mean, um, Carol kind of did more. She punched the Savior, not Savior, the Whisperer a bunch, and then Daryl, he was about to, but then they didn't have him do it because yeah, you can't have Norman Reedus torture, like literally torture a character on screen. That's gonna hurt his image. I don't know. I mean, like, let's be honest. If Daryl chopped off some of that guy's fingers, let's be honest, the fan base would have. He wouldn't have lost. He wouldn't have lost any fans with that, honestly. Um. Okay, so we have 15 more minutes now. Man, what should I title this stream? Um. It's like just random. We're talking about everything. World Beyond, the main show. And we didn't talk too much about fear. That's weird. You know what? Yeah, I mean, this is Alicia's in the thumbnail, but we didn't really talk about fear that much. Dan says Daryl is great for war. He gets the job done. Too bad he was so badly written. Yeah, he was. I don't know. It didn't really work. Daryl being on the whole vengeance thing. Um, and then they had Rick be on the vengeance thing, but I don't know, when did they have Daryl stop being on the? So Daryl wanted revenge in the first half, and then the second half, um, he kind of is he kind of doesn't want it anymore. Like after Carl died, he kind of cools off all of a sudden, and then he kind of yells at Tara for being reckless, and then that's it. And then he tells Dwight to, you come back, I'll kill you. Go look for your wife or something like that. So I don't know. The Russ says the greatest Walking Dead fight was Rick versus the Governor. It was pretty good. Um, Dan says live stream 50 titled The Bad of Season 8. Yeah, I could yeah, maybe I could rename it. Let's see. Uh um The Bad of Season 8. Maybe I should change the profile picture though. Nah, it's kind of too late now. I should change the playlist though. I'll change the playlist to Walking Dead videos. All right, change that. Save. Save. That's awesome. Okay, yeah. So I changed it. Hopefully you guys can see the change that I did. Yep, that should work. Um, that's the main topic. LOL. Yeah, it is, Dan. Thank you so much. And yeah, Dan. I next live stream, I am honestly I can't wait to talk about it. We are going to talk about the first day of the rest of your life. That is going to be. Um, I'll admit, like I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna rant on the episode, but I will say what I liked, what I didn't like. As far as episodes in season 7, I think it's a good episode. But as far as like the finale, it kind of didn't work. Um, yeah, I'll get to that. My problems with it. Dan says put a season 8 thumbnail. Nah, Alicia is too perfect. She is what could have helped out in season 8. LOL. Yes, having Alicia in the thumbnail. It's like it's perfect. Honestly, I can do this for every live stream. Maybe I should do that. Um, just have this picture of Alicia for every single one of my live streams. I'm just kidding. Next live stream, I'm gonna have something from the season 7 finale. DeRosa says Alicia talks. Brian. Uh, yeah, something like that. DeRosa, something like that. Um, okay, so about The Walking Dead, do you guys think The Walking Dead is on its last legs or it's close to the end? So last legs means two things. Either it's desperate, it's gonna collapse any minute, or it means that it's nearing the end of its run. And I think that The Walking Dead is ending. I think that Fear it could get maybe 2 or 3 more seasons, 2 or 3 more seasons maximum, and I think that World Beyond it's only getting one more season. The Rick movies, I have no idea what's taking those so long, and honestly, who honestly knows? The main show, it's only getting one more season, and it's going to end in 2022. So yeah, I mean, just I don't know. Is Scott Gimple really gonna do? He can't do a Negan and Governor backstory shows that last till 2030. There's no way. So after all these shows end, um, the main show, World Beyond, Fear, we're gonna have the Carol and Daryl show. We're gonna have the comedy show, and then we're gonna have the Governor's backstory, and then the Rick movies, I guess. So I don't know. Like, how is that gonna tie in? How is the Rick movies gonna tie in? It was supposed to tie in with World Beyond and Fear, but now we're just. It would have been perfect if the movies already came out. Dan says you should put a thumbnail of Negan's red face when he's talking to Rick. He looks like a tomato. Tomato? Oh well. 2023 Daryl and Carol show. Hope it's good. Um, I hope so too, Dan. Honestly, I really don't know. Um, I just don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a good show. Daryl needs to change his look. First off, that's um, he's got to change his look. Let's be honest. Okay, so I'm trying to find out what image you're talking about, Dan, about Negan being a tomato, because I honestly do not know. Are you talking about the one where the coffin is there? Yeah, you know what? I think I'm starting to see it. Yeah, I can't make promises, but I will try to I will try to make a tomato in the thumbnail or something of Negan's face. I will try to do that, Dan. I will try to put a thumbnail. I will try to draw a tomato for Negan's face, and yeah, maybe hopefully that works for my next live stream. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. All right, so DeRosa says, "Bro, Negan is hilarious." Yeah, but I don't think he can last. He can keep a show going on until 2030. That's way too long. DeRosa says, "Will Rick show up at the end of season 11?" I hope so, DeRosa, but I'm starting to doubt it. They need to show where Rick's been for the last 7 years, so they have to do the movie. If Rick just shows up and there's no movie, then people are going to be like, "Okay, Rick, where have you been all this time?" So then, if they had a movie, there would be no point to it. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're gonna have a movie to explain where he's been. That's the only thing I can think of. Let's see. DeRosa says apparently Rick is doing a Christmas Carol, and when I see him as that old man, I'm just like, Rick, what are you doing? LMAO. What is Andrew Lincoln doing right now? He's doing a Christmas Carol now, or oh, that's funny. Christmas Carol, like Carol. I wonder if people made that joke. Dan says Negan's face when he looks at Rick when he says, "I'm gonna kill you." Nothing will change that. He laughs, his face gets super red. That's what I mean. LOL. Oh, okay. I don't know if I can use that, Dan. I'll try to find that picture, or I can just take a. I mean, I could just take a snippet. But yeah, thanks for telling me, Dan. I will try to get that. I will try to get that picture. However I can, I'll try to get it. I'll try to draw a tomato or something in the thumbnail. But man, Negan's face is just it's so it's close to the camera that I would have to draw a really big tomato. Let's see. DeRosa says, I mean, they could do a time jump and show Rick. That's true, but people are going to be like, okay, Rick, where have you been all this time? And then it's going to be a little bit weird. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So I really don't know. And you say, and we'll just be like, oh, okay, Rick survived the movies. Yeah. I mean, we didn't get to see the movies, but yeah, he survived the movies. Dan says, Rick, we miss you. Andrew Lincoln, get back to the U.S. and film a real movie for once. LOL. Yeah. What was he going to be in? Penguin Bloom or something? Like, that's not a real movie. Come on. Hold on, maybe I can find that image. There's got to be that image somewhere. I might have to just take a snippet or something. Because I don't know if I can find it. Let's see. Dan says Rick needs to find Michonne, but the actors don't seem that interested. Yeah, it's like, what are they gonna do, Dan? Like, if the actors don't want to come back, if um, here's what I don't get. Why can't the Walking Dead actors, they're okay. Um, the Walking Dead actors are okay with being in the movies, but they're not okay filming one last season of the show. That's what I don't get. I don't understand it. Um, why are they not okay with being in? Listen, I'm sorry, but I think Gimple should really just drop this whole movie idea. I don't think it's gonna work. Look what everything going on with COVID. Movies are, I don't know if they're ever gonna open up again. You know. Okay, wait. I need to go back. Yeah, like Andrew Lincoln and Denai, they don't seem that interested, but they say that they're gonna be in the movies. So, okay, well, how come we don't get anything from them online? How come they're not willing to film one last season? You know, just one last season to end the franchise. That's it. You know, but they're okay with doing multiple movies. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Um, I mean, like being a main character in a movie or being having some screen time in the last season. I mean, wouldn't that be better? I don't know. It's so weird. Did Denai and Andrew just need a break? Because honestly, I don't know. Hey Roland, he says, yo, yeah, hey man, sorry, my live stream is going to be ending in 4 minutes. So sorry about that. Booga, booga. Okay, yeah, Roland, listen, we're talking about Walking Dead. If you don't have a question, then, yeah, if you are a troll or something, just letting you know, we don't tolerate trolls here. So if you want to talk about Walking Dead, you're welcome here. But yeah. Oh, okay. You say Daryl's overrated. Yeah, he is. Um, Dan says I'd rather Rick and Michonne in the final season and finish the show and just make a flashback episode to explain everything. Right there, you can make fans happy. Yeah, that's true. I don't get it. The movies, um, I just don't know. It doesn't seem like they're that excited, and the movies are taking forever to film, and that's kind of because they need a whole lot of people, I guess. But I don't get it. Could they really not have kept Denai just a little bit longer? So yeah, Roland, I agree. Daryl is overrated. He has had a lot of time on the show. He's had so much screen time. And Daryl has had the same look on forever. Like he needs to change his look. And Dan says, hashtag no trolls. Yeah. Roland, just letting you know, I'm not calling you a troll. Just letting you know. Um, wait, you say Rick is overrated. Um, I don't know. I feel like he's not my favorite character in the series. Oh wait, you say Carl was the best character this show has ever had. I think I think Ken was the best character the show ever had. But yeah, and thank you for participating, Roland. I just I don't think I've seen you on my stream before, so it's nice that um to see someone new that doesn't seem like they're a troll, you know. So like because for the most part, every time someone new comes into my stream, they're a troll, unfortunately. By the way, I wonder if DeRosa is still here. Um, Dan says Rick as well, but he's my favorite, so I can't agree. Um, Rick, I don't know. I feel like Rick gets the right amount of fan base. Should his fan base be smaller? I don't know. His fan base competes with Rick, not Rick, Daryl. They're like tied. You know what I mean? Like Daryl's fan base is higher than Rick's, and I don't see it. I just don't see the appeal. How can Daryl be a better character than Rick or have a bigger fan base? I just don't see it. Um, I don't see it at all. All right, guys. We're going to be ending the stream in a few more minutes. So if you guys have any last minute questions, please get them out now. Roland says, I miss Beth. Yeah, I miss Beth too. She wasn't the best character, but I did like her at times. And they could have done her so much better. Like, she could have been like the Walking Dead's version of Alicia. You know what I mean? If they took the time. But let's be honest, even if they did, I don't think that she would have been the same as Alicia. But still, they could have done that with her. Beth was the hottest character. In the main show, I don't know. I feel like that goes to Rosita. In the main show, I feel like that goes to either Rosita or Maggie. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Beth was kind of young though, so you know what I mean. I don't know. It's just um, who was the? Yeah, I don't know. At least you don't say Jadis was, because yeah, Jadis was not the hottest character. Ugh. Uh, Dan says Rick is better than Daryl in my opinion. I feel like Daryl should be less popular and Rick should take the popularity of the place, but not as much because Daryl has way too many fans. Yeah, I agree, Dan. Daryl is so overrated. Listen, I love Norman Reedus' Daryl, but man, he's in everything. He's in um he's in Fortnite. I mean, he's in everything. Just he's a cash cow. Dan says Maggie for me. Roland says who's the hottest character? If you're talking about in the franchise, it's Alicia. She's in the picture. It's Alicia. Dan says Jadis sick. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jadis was especially season 7. Jadis. Oh, she was nasty. Oh boy. Uh, Roland says, "Yo, Jadis was fine as." Oh no, no, she looked like heck. That's what she did. And Dan says Alicia. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, guys, I gotta end my stream now. I'm really sorry about this. Um, but I want to thank you guys so much. DeRosa, Megamat, Dan, and Roland. I'm sorry that you kind of. I'm sorry that I have to end the stream here. You've only been on for 5 minutes. Really sorry about that, but it's time to turn off the stream because this is how my streams go. Yeah, you're welcome, Dan. Absolutely, and yeah, thank you for the suggestion for next week. I will definitely do the first day of the rest of your life. Not a bad episode of season 7. Pretty good. Roland, you say what? Yo, what about Patricia though? No, I think Patricia. She wasn't one of the hottest characters. I will say she was one of the nicest and sweetest characters in the show. I will say that. She was a sweet, nice, kind character. But as far as hot, no. Roland says gave us up. Well, thank you so much, Roland. I appreciate that. And yeah, if since you have subscribed, you should be getting notifications, and YouTube should let you know when I do my next stream. So hopefully you can attend next time, and I can answer more of your questions. So thank you so much, Roland. Absolutely, I appreciate your opinion. I enjoyed your questions that you had for me. Dan says, "Good night, guys." Yeah, guys, I really have to go, but I want to thank you guys so much. You guys have a blessed week. Stay safe out there, because yeah, we unfortunately are still dealing with COVID. Unfortunately. But we got a few more live streams before the year is over, so I cannot wait, guys. All right, guys, so take care and have a good night.